What's the purpose of what you're doing here today?
Well, at today's event, we want to talk a little bit about the challenges of investing in India, because India today is really a marketplace you cannot ignore. It is one of the largest consumer markets in the world. It has one of the largest active workforces. It still has enormous growth and growth potential. 4% may not be great by Indian standards, but by US standards, it's very good. And therefore, it's also one of the largest markets for services. And you have a great number of service providers based out of India servicing companies around the world. So in today's marketplace and today's global environment, that's a place you need to be. But it's not an easy place to do business. There's lots of challenges. And so in today's event, we're trying to focus on some of the difficulties and challenges of investing in India and what to be aware of and how to do it right.
Now, clearly business is a two-way street. Are you dealing with both ways today, or is this just really looking at American companies who want to start something in India?
Well, today we're going to focus more at American companies looking at India with the presence of Anand and his colleagues. But our practice tends to be both ways, and Anand's practice similarly is going to be helping companies, Indian companies coming to the US, as well as US companies going and doing business in India.
What do you think is, if there is such a thing as the one thing, you want to smarten up potential investors, potential businesses that want to go there, what do you want to tell them that they need to relearn about India?
I want to tell them to temper their expectations. I want to tell them that India is a long-term proposition, that you will do very well in India if you come in with your eyes wide open, having done your background research and work, having fine-tuned your strategy, and really having thought about it and tempered your business model and built it for long-term prospects. I would say if you're going into India with the view of making a quick return, you're going to fail.
Mm-hmm. And is this something where the help like you have here, boots on the ground in India, is particularly critical? You don't want to come in like that, the old cowboy from the ugly American days, huh?
Well, you can come in as an old cowboy, but then just, enroll the troops of the people on the ground who are going to help you in navigating the environment, particularly in areas like due diligence, dealing with the regulators, addressing some of the fundamental cultural issues of the cowboy versus the Indians, really.
You think American companies might be interested to go into India to do?
I think we have a huge consumer market. Unlike China, which is an export market, here's a huge consumer market. If the US corporations can penetrate, they can really rise. Secondly, the returns are phenomenal. You could expect about 12 to 18% in some industries. So that's something which really is the US corporation should really look at. India's GDP growth is going to be around 5 or 6% on a very conservative basis. But I think if that comes around, I think you have a good opportunity to come into India. Secondly, there's a rule of law, as I would say. The recent decisions of the Supreme Court, the judiciary is independent and it's completely protected. So therefore, that's one great opportunity for US companies to do business. It's the largest democratic country in the world. So, for many years there has been no disturbances. There's absolutely, the democracy has worked seamlessly for the last so many years, from 1947 onwards.
Right, business people like stability. We know this.
Yes, absolutely. There is absolute political and, the stability on all fronts. Of course, the policy keep changing. That's in all jurisdictions, whether in US or in India. Say, for instance, even US, they're introducing a lot of legislations. So whether outsourcing is allowed, not allowed. Similarly, that happens in India. But I think that's really should not be a worry for an Indian for a US company coming into India.
Would you expect the people at this conference to be wanting to produce things in India for that consumer market, or deal with Indians as end users of something made elsewhere?
I think both. But see, if you're really looking at producing in India, you have a great opportunity. The labor cost is less as compared to the US. The demand is more. The middle class is rising. So So there's a great opportunity for what you call as for the consumption of those products. If you're really looking at importing and bringing it into India, probably there's a bit of a regulation where the B2C commerce is not allowed. So business to business is allowed. So therefore the Walmarts of the world really can't come in. So really if you're looking at, say, something like importing and then selling it in India on a whole cash and carry wholesale basis, that's really allowed. But if you're really looking at setting up retail malls like Walmart, probably that's where the government believes that you're killing the local industry.
It's probably impossible for you as one person to answer how the average Indian feels about this foreign investment, but even in the United States, people sometimes get a little ginchy when a foreign company comes in.
No, I think if you see the Indian, the education has been on the Western style. It's a very liberal state. There's a rising middle class, and people look for opportunities because I think, as I would say, in last 20 years, the opportunities has grown because of the MNC coming into India. Even in the legal profession, forget the other professions. There has been work, there has been so much opportunities to work on big transactions which are global in nature, which was not the case when the economy was closed. So I guess this is the right time.